So there is obviously something that everybody should think of, and it's kind of important. And that is, what if food could talk, you know? What do? You're cooking, and everything is going sweet, add a little garlic, maybe a little soy sauce, I don't know, whatever you cook these days, but food's food, and it's good to eat, and it's good for the soul. It's happiness on a freaking bun or a noodle. So anyway, pizza, for example, I don't know. It has pepperoni eyes in a mouth. And you pull it out of the oven and it's just super nice to you, Just talks like, oh, hey, hey, yeah. Like, what do? You have a pizza talking to you, and it doesn't know that you're going to devour it and send it to oblivion. It doesn't know that. It tries to start a wonderful conversation with you, but how do you react to that, And you start cutting it up, and it's like freaking just screaming in sheer horror and pain. Would it even feel pain? I don't know. I'm not an expert at this. It just came to mind. Think of like restaurants. You go to, McDonald's. Sure, you go to McDonald's. You go up to the counter. Cashier takes your order. And you get a Big Mac. You upsize it to a large because nobody goes medium. You go big, go home, whatever. And you get it in a meal, so you get these like super large fries. And you're just kind of like waiting patiently, but you can see in the back the employee is dipping these fries into boiling hot grease or whatever. And all you hear is just stop! Ah! That's all you hear. Just screams from none other. But that's not the only thing. You have a bunch of different like sandwiches or fries or whatever screaming. All these people are at McDonald's trying to eat their screaming food in peace. And you can't even keep your own food under control because, one, it's not in your hands yet. Okay? You can always jump over the counter and try to hush it before you eat it. There's always that option. But just you walk in and all you hear is screams, and you see all these people just devouring these harmless creatures that we call food. Movie theaters, for example. There's that. You go to a movie, okay, and you already know it's going to be loud because when like a group of 7 high school cockroaches sit right behind you, you're about to call the exterminator, but apparently they don't, Anyway, high schoolers never shut up. Point is, you're in the theater, before you actually get to like your like screen, you got the concessions or whatever, you get your buttery popcorn, you get your large cherry icy. Any icy will do, but I mean, it's cherry, like, come on, really? Maybe get a mix, Get a mix. And you can, first of all, okay, you can't sit through a movie and not have an icy. Like, what's the point of even going if you're not going to get an icy? Really? Like, think about that for a minute. While thinking about what if food could talk. The point is, like, you go into the movie and you have just a big old bucket of buttery salty corn that's popped. And then you have your large icy. Gonna go see a great movie, but you already know it's gonna be ruined. Because you could hear the faint noise of a crunch, like across the movie theater. And all it's like followed by is just like screams of horror, Like, you're there at the movie and you're just trying to peacefully watch a movie, and all you could hear is, ah! Like, what do? What's the point of going to a movie if your food, your meal, is screaming the entire time? Like, restaurants would be a terrible place. I don't even know if I could eat, I love meat. I like bacon, steak, you know, whatever. Yeah, that's from like an animal and stuff, but it's not there on the plate talking to me through the delicious barbecue topping that I will slab all over it, you know? Think of it this way. You're sitting at the kitchen table, you know, maybe you're on a date. Pff, whatever cool kids do these days, I wouldn't know. And your steak or whatever you're eating is looking at you, you know, has these bright, beautiful eyes. And you fall in love with it, you know, you fall in love with this piece of meat that has these beautiful, gorgeous eyes just staring at you. And you're thinking, man, I can't eat this. I can't look at those eyes. I can't. It's like telling your dog no while it's eyeing you down. It's something you just yeah, you can't do it. And so you're eyeing down the steak, and it starts like, you know, you grab the knife and you grab the fork and you're about to cut it, and you're like, I can't do it. And the steak looks at you and you're like, it's okay. I understand. And like, you get really emotional because this slab of meat covered with barbecue sauce understands that it's going to be sent to oblivion. So you start cutting it, and it starts, you know, like whisperingly scream. I don't know what seductive. That's not even right. That's not even clear. You know, it's just like it grunts like ugh, pff, knife in the meat. It hurts. I want to know. I'm not steak. Anyway, like, you know, it tells you it's okay. That is one prepared slab of barbecue covered steak, and I could eat that. But maybe once you like, what if you take the whole steak and just like stare, like put it right in front of your face, and it's just looking back at you, and it just whispers, "Don't eat me. Please, don't eat me." You know, like what do you do? What do you do? This piece of steak that you drenched in barbecue sauce is like begging for its, you know, its steak life not to be eaten. Can you go through with that? I'm a heartless kind of guy, but I cannot eat a steak that is whispering me seductively, telling me to not eat it while I slapped it with barbecue sauce and whatever else I might want to put on my steak. I don't know, haven't had it in a while, but you know, like, what if food could talk? It'd be a hard life. It'd be a hard life, and I would probably just starve. Simple as that. But you know what? Let's all just be thankful that food can't talk. You know, we're the dominant race. You know, what if food ate us? What if a giant slab of, you know, not Captain, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you know, just this giant square with legs and arms made of cinnamon sticks. Just, you know, it's gonna eat a bowl. It's gonna eat a cereal of you. You know, just eat a big old bowl of you, and dips its spoon in the milk. And there's like 7 of you just floating, swimming in this spoonful of you and milk. You know, like, what do you do? Are you gonna tell this giant square of Cinnamon Toast Crunch that it shouldn't eat you? It'd be the dominant race. You know, food. Take over the world. You know, if I die, if I could die in any way besides laughing to death, I'd rather have food eat me. Just have this big old pepperoni pizza say, "Oh, gone." You know, gonna eat you. Yeah. Let's just be grateful that food, you know, can't eat us.